Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on Little's Law YouTube channel. So today in this video, we are going to see about the prerequisites to connect Neoload with Dynatrace, and we will see how do we connect. So we are going to also see about how to connect Neoload with Dynatrace. And once we connect Neoload with Dynatrace, we can automatically see the response times in the Dynatrace. So for now, let's see how to connect the Neoload. And for connecting it, we need to have these four prerequisites. So first thing is we would need Neoload either Windows application, that is where either you have to install Neoload in your machine, or you must have your Neoload web application, and that along with your full license. So if you don't have license, or if you have not configured your license, so you might not be able to see it. So make sure you have your license and you have a program ready, a script ready for monitoring your scripts in Dynatrace. So you have to have a script ready. And then the third part is you need to have Dynatrace with full license. And once you have your full license for Dynatrace, then you can create your API token, and then you can connect the Dynatrace API token in Neoload, and then you can merge it with both of them, so that all the network, any network that is being executed as part of the test will be tracked in Dynatrace. So first, let me here, I'll open the Neoload tool. So for a safer side, I always open Neoload as admin in case if you also want to run your Neoload, or if you in case if you want to integrate your Neoload with Dynatrace, please make sure you run it with admin mode. And then coming back to help, so if I go to license management, and here you can see the project settings is disabled, and since for integrating your Dynatrace, you must need your project settings to be enabled. So what you have to do is we have to open a project. So for example, I'm just opening this test project, and once I open my test project, and then I can see, if I go to my license management, and here I can see my project settings and then the Dynatrace. So here I'll have to enable my Dynatrace information, and here I have to enter my server URL and my API token. So once I set my server URL and my API token, and then the proxy configuration of that test is done, and then I can confirm that everything is ready. So before we move on to see how to do them step by step, this is me, Vasant Shanmugam. I welcome you all to Little Sly YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed yet. Like, share the video with your friends who are looking for integrating their Dynatrace projects with Neoload, and those who want to learn more on Neoload and Dynatrace, please do ask them to subscribe to our channel and watch our videos. So now let's move on to the second step. So here I have my Dynatrace. So here you can see I have my Dynatrace, and for adding my token, I just go here to the just search option, and then when I choose for API tokens, and then when I click on enter, so here you can see, so here we can create the personal access token, and let's see how to do that. So let me show you how to collect or how to create the API token. So here, as I told you already, so in Dynatrace, this is the sample token that I have used for this Neoload example, and so this is something like you can see it in the documentation. So there are like several scope where we can retrieve and send metrics, and then we can identify the traffic when we were capturing the request data. So there are like different levels of token and different access of tokens that we can use as part of our testing. So for example, if I want to just do a read configuration, I can create anomaly detection rules, and if I want to create a token with write configuration, I can do it. Or in case if I want to do a read entity using API, or if I want to write it, it is using API, I can even do that. So when you create your token in your Dynatrace, please make sure like what level of access do you give to your token, because this will help you to understand like what kind of bottlenecks does the application really experience. So and this will in fact get you more data to read. So make sure you are creating the token with the right level of access. As I have told you already, I have entered the server URL and the API token, and I have enabled the Dynatrace information. So once you enter your right server URL and your API token, and when you click on the test, and automatically you'll get your connection successful. So this will confirm that your configurations, all the connections, your server URL and your API token is valid, and this has to be taken. And this API token here that you see is taken from your Dynatrace. Once you click on apply, and now we will connect the monitor. So for that we'll have to click on the monitors, and then we'll have to select the APM Dynatrace monitor under the monitor machine. So once you right click on the monitor machines and selecting the new monitors, so this create monitoring machine dialog box will open, and we'll have to choose the Dynatrace monitor under the APM, which is the application performance monitoring. And once we select it, we'll have to click next, and then we will get the list of the configurations. So where I have selected, so here I have selected 30 seconds of monitoring interval. So this will get me the performance data for every 30 seconds. And there is another reason for doing this, because in case if you are running a test for more than 2 hours, and when you are clicking this configuration where you want to get data for every 30 seconds, which means you will be having around 120 intervals of data for 1 hour of test. And if it is like for 2 hours, it will be like 240 duration or 240 intervals of data. So this can be again a data, there will be like a lot of data, and there's another reason where there could be a lot of space that also will be taken by this monitor. So we also have to make sure that we have enough amount of intervals, because in some cases where you are running a during a test, an endurance test for more than 8 hours, so we have to make sure that we do have enough intervals so that the machine will not get crunched because of the more number of data that are getting collected. So we have to make sure that we are collecting the data based on the intervals. So now I'm clicking on check, and the connection parameters are correct, and now I'm clicking on next, and then once I click on the next, I will get the processing counters list. And here you can see there are like some built-in monitors which are for the host and service, and then there is another monitor which I am collecting for my function, which I have created as part of this script, and which I need to monitor based on the user's requirement, which I have to check for bottlenecks. And then I'm clicking on finish, and now we can see on the left side I have got the Dynatrace monitors, and then here you can see the built-in monitors for the host, where I can see the CPU and memory. And then for the service, again the same case, I can see the monitors for the service as well. So we can collect any number of data once we connect the tool, the Neoload tool, with the Dynatrace monitor. So in this way, we can monitor all the bottlenecks, all the resource utilizations, and any metrics that we would need to monitor as part of the Dynatrace and the Neoload testing. And then let's now move on to the runtime. So here I have the population, and then I have to move to the advanced, and under advanced I have this APM. So under the advanced I have this APM, where I have the tag which I have from my Dynatrace, and then when you want to search it, you can just collect it from your Dynatrace and then you have to give it here. And then here I can show you what or where is that tags which I have. So I'm going back to my deployed Dynatrace. I'm going to my access tokens, and here in the access token, the very first token is the one that I have used for my Dynatrace integration with Neoload. And here is the part that is the tag which I want to use for my test. So here you can see the tag which I have or which I want to run as part of my test. So in fact you can see the same in the Neoload tool. So now coming back to the tool, you can see this was the same tag which I have used in my Dynatrace. So I'm using the same tag, and under anomaly detection I have added the metric which I want to monitor, which is the CPU host, the built-in CPU host. So in our previous videos I have showed you how to collect the metric. So here I have given the metric which is built-in host CPU, and if the idle is below 12, so which means if the resource utilization is more than 88%, which means that the application is taking a lot of CPU. And the same way I can connect the monitors and any other metrics which I want to collect as part of my Neoload load testing. So far we added for only the CPU. So in case if I want to add for memory, how can I do that? So here click on this plus symbol and come back to the Dynatrace. So let me open the Dynatrace window here. So here in the Dynatrace, let me search for the memory. So when I search for the memory, I can get all these memory monitors, and coming back to the memory here. So in case if you are using a container, you can use this particular metric in Neoload. So just click on this plus symbol and then choose the total bytes. So in case if the total bytes goes below some 10%, which means the total available containers goes below 10%, so you can add that to the performance. Or in case if I want to choose the physical memory, so if the limit percent goes above 90, so let me open my Neoload here and let me add the metric. So if the limit percent goes beyond 90, so then that is another severity of performance case. And then coming back to, so this way, so even you can grab the garbage collection count. So for example, I can just copy this garbage collection count here, and then coming back to the Neoload, I'm adding this metric. So in this way, you can add any of these metrics. So you can add your memory, you can add your CPU, you can add your garbage collection, and you can add any of the other containers, something like your active JVM heap memory, how much is used and how much is free memory. So we can add all of these, and once you add all of them, just click the test and take the results from your Dynatrace. So we will meet in another interesting video tomorrow. Until then, it's bye bye from Shanmugam and Little Sra. Please comment any questions or feedbacks you have in the comment section. So until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Shanmugam and Little Slaw.